Here's another bug update. What I've been doing is I decided to delete the heater boxes for a few reasons. One is I'm going to be focusing on performance. This isn't going to be a winter car. I'm going to want to, be looking at the engine as much as I can. And also, I know there's some concerns about the heater boxes and exhaust. The heater boxes on this car were in pretty good shape. Actually, there they are there. So I'll hold on to those. But we had some relatives. I have a cousin who did some work on a Beetle, and his heater boxes were leaking. He said, "Hey man, you got to get those off there." And considering what I'm thinking about doing to the car, it sounded good to me. So what you do is, read a lot about this. For me, I don't know if everyone else is going to have the same situation, but there's a few things that are going to have to happen if you take the heater boxes off. I had to take the header off. They don't just, you can't get the, I couldn't see a way to get the heater boxes off without taking the header off, and that's not hard. You can see I have the header off right here. Right down there is just really those bolts. And those bolts, I had to take some tin off. Not really that big a deal. And then heater boxes come off pretty straightforward. Did a lot of reading. One thing, if you're going to take the heater boxes off, you replace them with J-tubes. There's a J-tube on the floor right there. It's not installed yet. I test fit it. Fits perfect. A few varieties of J-tubes. You can just get black painted J-tubes, probably 30 bucks. These are ceramic coated. They might have been 90. And but if you're going to replace J-tubes or put J-tubes in, then you have to worry about the heat. The heat would be dissipated by the heater boxes, by engine cooling air. You have to replace, this is called industrial tin. And I think the industrial application is just an application that doesn't have the need for heat. So this was a little involved. This piece right here is the industrial tin, just this outside bit. And then underneath, I'm gonna move the camera here, give me a sec. So all that came off. This is the existing tin. It was pretty beat up, so I spent some time reshaping it, and then just spent the time doing it right. It's really nice and straight. Everything's tight. Replaced bolts that needed replacing. And one thing is the industrial tin, I don't know, it might have been 25 bucks. There's a left and right. It just, your tin all has to be in a good shape, because this part here, it just touches underneath the valve cover. So if it fits right, it just touches that and it's just kind of pressed up against it. There's no real attachment, but it is snug. I could see getting some vibration here because the way it sits, but I can deal with that. So that's my heater box delete. That's the state of it. Really happy with how that came out. So while I'm under here, taking the heater boxes off, you're exposed to the exhaust port for number 3 on this side. And I watched a good video. These studs were all loose, which is, I guess, better than broken or frozen. Sorry. Watched a great video on installing studs. You can probably Google that. Bottom line is, the ones that are broken, I just bought new studs, and you do put 2 bolts on the end, 2 nuts on the end, tighten the nuts together, and then you can screw the stud in. Guy recommended putting anti-seize, so I went and reset all the studs. The ones that were broken, I replaced them. Not broken, but the threads were bad on a couple of them. And the ones that weren't, or the ones that still did have good threads, I just put those back in with some anti-seize and torqued them as the guy recommended. Sorry, not specifically torqued, but tighten them with the double nut method. And just waiting on new gaskets. I'll probably just do paper gaskets. Again, a lot of debate about that. whether you use paper or aluminum gaskets. So that's where that's at. Also drained the oil too, I guess while we're at it. Waiting for a new oil screen. It was pretty cruddy. So that'll be new too. I'll just show you the other side real quick. And maybe I'll make another video when I get the J-tubes back on. Yeah, so here's the header. And the tin. I'll show you this side. So the tins on the left and right are different. The tin on this side is was 2 pieces. So this is was a little more involved, but I got it straight. It's fit nice. Same deal with the sorry, it's dark over here on this side. Same deal with the studs over here. I did get copper nuts. I guess the deal with the copper nuts is, from what I read, is they expand at a different rate than the steel. So on exhaust where the temperatures are really high, you want to use copper nuts, so they'll stay tight. So no Loctite or anything on those, just I'll show you here. I guess that's it for all of them. Yeah, there you go. Here you can see the copper nuts. So we did invest in those. So that's the update on the exhaust. I guess I can show you one other thing here too. I'll be putting in a pressure gauge and a temperature gauge. So there's oil pressure, oil temperature, sending unit, T. That should be everything I need to do that. It's gonna be a pretty big job for me, but once I get the exhaust all back on, I'll start messing with that and give you an update. There you go. I moved the light and I thought I would show you this side. So there's what I mean, the 3 pieces. So this is the one, and down here it's just 2, and these are really banged up, and then this is the new part. So everything's nice and tight. There's the exhaust port studs. One other thing too, on the original tin up here, there was a lip, and it was really interfering with the exhaust port. So I used my Dremel. I use my Dremel for cutting. That's all I have, but it really works pretty well. I mean, you could do pretty small stuff with it. So I trimmed it up so it would fit better. This isn't me. This was trimmed up at some point. But there's some interference back in here. And like I said, the interference here. And I trimmed that up, and it really helped it fit nice and tight. These areas, the holes are really getting beat up, so I put bigger washers there. And I have a bolt still to put into here. That's not done, but it's kind of the same scenario on this side. It's just really see, I mean, you can still move the tin. That's just the way it is. It doesn't screw into the block at all, or the head block, sorry. So there you go. Thanks for watching. I actually got more done today, so I thought I would add that to this update too. I'm adding gauges. I think I showed you the gauges. I actually got them mounted. I have a lot of work to do running wires, but there they are. So I was able to get the back plate. Got this from J-Bugs. I showed you the gauges, but I just have them temporarily screwed in there now, but I got the holes cut out. When you take the old back plate off, it's not totally open. You still have to cut out the holes. So this is the old, there's the old back plate. So these metal tabs just kind of bend over. So that comes out easy. I There's the back side. I'm trying to light. So there they are. Like I said, I used my Dremel to cut the holes out. It came out really good. So those are in. So I was glad to get that done. Now I just have to run the wires, but just thought I would add that too. Thanks for watching.